Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Soul Podcast. Today is a solo episode, and I'll also be posting this on YouTube so you can catch it there as well, where I'll be showing you some numbers and some comparisons of the cost efficiency of preventative medicine in comparison to conventional Western treatment of cancer. And we're going to dive into this in this episode because I believe this is so important. I'm feeling so passionate about this topic. And I was like, I have to create a video on this. I have to talk about this because with everything going on with healthcare and understanding how insurance plays into that and all of like the news and the things that have happened recently in 2024 at the end of 2024, it just feels really relevant to talk about this right now. I am a doctor of Chinese medicine. I'm a licensed acupuncturist. And in this video, I won't be diving into anything that you can really use as a tool or anything you can really use as medical advice. This is all educational, this is all informational. I really feel passionate about this topic because I was writing today and I was thinking about preventative medicine and that preventative medicine, there's been a huge talk about preventative medicine for a long time in the last few years, which is so exciting for complementary and alternative therapies such as acupuncture, Chinese medicine, which is interesting because Chinese medicine has been around for thousands of years and yet is an alternative medicine in the Western culture, right? And so, what's interesting about preventative medicine, I was thinking, is preventative medicine more cost effective than conventional treatment for cancer? For something like cancer. This is something that I wanted to research and dive into today as a topic that I think is really relevant right now. And not only relevant to Chinese medicine and acupuncture, because I am an acupuncturist, but also to talk about the options, the available alternatives, the different things and ways people can heal themselves without having to spend thousands of dollars and go bankrupt or lose, big chunks of their savings because of a health condition or things that they're going through, right? In many ways, we could talk about diving into the government and the capitalist society and the patriarchal society and healthcare and all those things. But I really wanted to focus this conversation on talking about the cost efficacy and really giving you the numbers, comparing the cost between preventative and conventional medicine. So, really, this is about talking about diving into a topic that is empowering you to understand and make informed decisions from a place that's saying, okay, these are the numbers. This is kind of the estimated comparison. And this is talking about your health and well being. Let's just talk about a car. When we talk about a car, you have to fill the oil, right? Change the oil frequently. You have to get cast for the car, do maintenance on the car. If you don't do any of those things, if you don't change your oil after a certain time, the engine can burn out. You can risk the engine burning out or, different things happening to the car if you don't maintain the car. This is similar that something that happens in our bodies. Our bodies can be analogous to understanding a car. So when our bodies are running low of fuel or inner resources or blood or qi, which we would say in Chinese medicine, then you're risking it basically running out of fuel and burning out and experiencing all those things that show up as health conditions such as fatigue and headaches and migraines and like just feeling super burnt out, not having energy, just like not having the umph for life and not having a good quality of life. Like eventually that could take away that as well. And so instead of, you know, letting that happen and the burnout happening and the overwhelm happening and potentially having health conditions come up in the body, can we shift the paradigm and the thinking and the narrative to I'm taking care of my body daily, weekly, monthly with, let's just say, the homeopathy, the herbalism, the chiropractor, the acupuncture, like going to see a nutritionist, hiring a personal trainer, like all those things that we invest in that we're told that it's too expensive and it's too much and it's all these things. But yet, does that cost comparison end up being almost the same or maybe even more or less in the future? Because I was talking to my partner about this and he was like, yeah, it's sort of like the principle of like you pay now or you pay later. And I was like, yes, that makes so much sense. And so that's what sparked me in wanting to create this video in this podcast about comparing the cost of conventional medical treatments like cancer care to investing in preventative holistic therapies. And the difference is staggering. So let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Let's dive into, I'm going to give you an example, such as conventional cancer care. And of course, I used ChatGPT to do a lot of research as well. And so, what we're going to do is talk about and just give a comparison to the breakdown of things, because I think this is really, really, really important. So, what I'm going to do is actually going to share my screen, and that is going to show you a breakdown of conventional cancer treatments based off of what ChatGPT found. So this is what it says. Here's a calculation for the 1-year cost of both conventional cancer treatment and a complementary therapies. The conventional cancer treatment only for 1 year. That includes radiation, chemo, surgery, imaging, diagnostics, things like this. And an average of those things is anywhere between $60,000 to almost 100 grand. That's in 1 year. Let's just say that happens towards the end of your life, or more maybe towards the midlife, right? Let's just say that happens and you're spending that much money, right? In that short period of time. But then let's talk about within 1 year of doing complementary therapy such as acupuncture weekly. So I said, okay, let's do acupuncture weekly. Let's do seeing an herbalist once a month, seeing a chiropractor once a month, and seeing a nutritionist once a month. Let's just do those things, right? And let's just see what happens, that breakdown of the costs for at least 1 year. That ends up being total $4,000 to $10,000, probably a little bit more depending on demographics, where you are in the world, area, cost per session, all those things. And sometimes you might add a couple of sessions, sometimes you might subtract a couple of sessions. That's all like all estimated numbers, but it is significantly less than the conventional cancer treatment. It is 9 to 15 times more expensive. So, conventional cancer treatment, in this case, an estimated case, this is just a theoretical case, right? But this is based off of research that has been done. It is 9 to 15 times more expensive than doing complementary therapies just in 1 year. So, why do we have this then narrative around not investing in our holistic care early on in life and actually improving our quality of life over time, then getting to the point of cause and effect and needing to deal with the situation when it happens? When we talk about preventative medicine, we're talking about, okay, we're preventing a health condition. We're preventing things from happening, right? We're preventing the car from burning out. So that's why we're fueling and changing the oil in our car, right? We're doing maintenance. Just like that, we can also create that narrative for our bodies and say that is important for our bodies. Why do we treat our bodies differently than we treat a car, right? That's huge. That's something to think about. And something that blew my mind when I was thinking about this and writing about this was like, we must shift the narrative to taking care of our bodies, realizing that your health is wealth. Your quality of life over a long period of time can improve just by eating better, taking more time out to rest and do the things that you love, and getting treatment, getting things like massage or chiropractor or homeopathy or herbalism, any of those things, right? Acupuncture is really great. And of course, I'm a little biased there because I'm an acupuncturist, but when we're just talking about the cost efficacy, it is way more cost effective to do complementary therapies to increase the quality of life, to improve your sleep, to improve your digestion, to improve your menstrual cycle, all those things here and now, rather than waiting until something gets really, really bad in the future and the car burns out, or your engine burns out, or your body goes through a really intense health condition and you're being asked to, okay, pay attention. Because one of my teachers taught me that when your body has something going on, when there's a health condition, when there's a pain, when there's an ache, there's a headache, that is a big red sign that there is something wrong, that there is a light in the car and the engine light is on and it needs to be looked at. That is almost what's happening when we're talking about our bodies as well. That when there's a health condition, that is like a big red light on the car that's like, you have to look at this. And oftentimes we don't get to that point. We just get to the point where we're like, this is like maybe possibly the worst case scenario and we have to deal with it. And what I believe is that there is a different way. There is a different way of doing things, and that includes preventative medicine. That includes thinking ahead. That includes improving our quality of life now rather than having to cause and affect it later. And this is so important. And so why do we allow that to happen? And we're not even considering the emotional, physical, financial, relational toll that, illness takes on the body, or, even the financial stress that it takes oftentimes with like major health conditions. And doing preventative measures, doing preventative medicine isn't just about the money. It's about really the quality of life. And it's about allowing us to build more resilience and more strength on a daily basis and reducing stress and just overall improving health. And that's so, so important. So, with this, with what I've said today, what can you do to prioritize your health, your self care, your routines? And maybe it's like cooking a meal that you're like, okay, I feel called to eat this thing. I feel called to eat more whole foods or incorporate some herbs or something, or work with an herbalist, or maybe work with like a womb healer, however that wants to show up for you. Start with where you are, and also really dive into what that means for you if you were to have health, if you were to just feel so abundant in energy, if you felt so connected to your body that you were like, I can do anything, and your quality of life was like, okay. We often don't think about that when we're young, but as we get older, we begin to think about it like, okay, let's really think about this, right? Let's think about our health. And we don't realize how important our health is to our daily living. Our health is our wealth. If this video resonates with you, share it with somebody and start a conversation about it potentially. And I thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this, where I'll be diving more into medicine, metaphysics, traditional wisdom, all of the things. And I want to just thank you for listening, diving in, hearing this, receiving this. And I'm sending you so many blessings on your way forward. I know it's the end of December 2024. We're like getting to that point of 2025, and wow, it's going to be a radical shift into next year. I'm going to be doing another video, another podcast episode on the transition into the wood snake year. So we're going to be diving into that, and don't miss out on that video and episode. So I send you many blessings forward, and I will see you then. Bye.